You know what I notice about the church? Nobody wants to give up sin. You see church members, they won't give up their time, they won't give up their tithes. They won't do everything for the Lord. They come to say, Pastor, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I sweep the church? Can I preach? Can I play the drums? They won't run to lead praise and worship. They won't run to drive the bus. They won't run to be usher. They won't run to church every Sunday. They busy bodies in the church. They won't do everything but give up sin. That's what the Lord revealed to me one day. Church people won't do everything for God and in church, but give up sin. That's the last thing on their list. Or that's not even something they even want to do, is give it up. The Lord is revealing that that's a problem. The Lord is saying, or the Lord prefers for you to give up sin. If there's anything you want to do, give up the sin. The Lord prefers that more than doing anything else in the church for Him. We as the church have strayed so far. God's people, we have strayed so far. The church has strayed so far. Nobody wants to give up sin. I watch this. Nobody wants to give up sin. This is the problem. And you know, if I was in charge in selecting ministers to be in charge of certain ministries in the church or to be on the pulpit, and I investigate and I find out that you in some deep sin, you fornicating or you committing adultery or you doing some kind of sin, you dealing drugs or you doing some corrupt business, if I investigate and find that out, and you come on the pulpit, I will tell you in front of the church. I know that you want to be a minister on this pulpit, and you want to be a minister or a deacon in this church, but I will tell you in front of the church, the Lord has refused you. You will not get on this pulpit because you don't know what it is to give up sin. Don't confuse me with these other men of God. I listen to the voice of the Lord. I don't care about your degree. I don't care if you have a BA in theology. I don't care how you preach. I don't care how popular you are with the other church people. I listen to the voice of the Lord, and the voice of the Lord says, He has refused you. Please go to your seat. First Samuel 15 and 22. Quick summary. God gave Saul an instruction to follow about when they went in battle to kill everything. Animals, all the people, all the kids, males, females, animals, everything. Saul decided not to obey the word of the Lord and didn't kill the animals. 1 Samuel 15 and 22, and Saul said, Saul the prophet, here are the animals. And he was like, whoa, what's all these animals? Where all this coming from? Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? This is what I'm saying to you, children of God. You think God's impressed with your works in the church over obeying his voice and putting away the sin? If you obey his voice, you won't sin. If you're not obeying his voice, you won't sin. And that's what God really wants you to really give up and sacrifice. Sacrifice the sin. Continuing verse 22. Samuel says, behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, child of God. God prefers you to give up the sin than he prefers that over the sacrifices. God prefers you to give up the sin over running the preach, over running the collect offering, over running to lead praise and worship. Those are sacrifices, those are works. God is more concerned about obedience, putting away the sin. Let's continue. Verse 15 and verse 23. We want to go right down to the last two sentences. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, Samuel is telling Saul. Samuel is telling him now, the Lord also has rejected you. A lot of God's people thought I was being a little harsh. Telling someone who wants to be a part of the church and come on the pulpit and be minister and deacon, oh, I was being too harsh because I tell them the Lord has refused them. And you have a lot of God's people who want to bring opinion. Oh, you know, well, you should let them take part in this because at least they want to be involved in doing something that's good. That's not the point, child of God. The point is the voice of the Lord has spoken and said that he hath rejected this person. Sometimes we forget the voice of the Lord or the word of the Lord is above everything else, even our opinion and how we feel. You think I don't feel the same way about you? Think I don't prefer this person to be on this pulpit and to do what's good than to do what's evil? But the voice of the Lord has more weight than anything, and always supposed to have more weight than anything else in our lives. And the word of the Lord has said that he is being rejected. Let's continue. Verse 24. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord and thy word, because I fed the people and obeyed their voice. Oh goodness. My, Saul. I'm so proud of Saul for actually acknowledging why he did what he did. Sometimes children of God, they disobey the voice of the Lord and don't even know why. God's people have become so stupefied, we don't even know why we disobey the voice of the Lord. Mind you, there are reasons there, We just become that blind. I give Saul props for not being blind. I disobeyed the voice of the Lord because I fed the people and I listened to their voice over the Lord's voice. And that is always how you will be rejected of the Lord. When you put every other voice above His. Let's continue. Verse 26. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord. Now this deep. Samuel the prophet cutting off the king. Here's the word of the Lord. People who don't respect the word of the Lord, including your family, your friends, people in church who are born again, if they do not respect the word of the Lord, you also reject them. This is deep. Samuel the prophet say, I will not return with thee. That's a cut off. He also rejected the king. That's deep. And this the king. We suck up to our bishops and our apostles and our pastors, and we suck up to our to some friends and some family members and to the presidents and to the queens and these people in high places. Listen to me, child of God. If they born again and they do not respect the voice of the Lord or reject the voice of the Lord, you too must reject them. I don't care who they are. Samuel in 1 Samuel 15 and 26. I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord has rejected thee. Child of God, hear the word of the Lord. Put down the sin. And if you don't, the Lord has refused you.